I know I look a little raggedy. Why is my toilet paper there in the back? I had a cold. Look at this beautiful bouquet that I got from work. You guys ready? Isn't it beautiful? I got it from the owners of the restaurant I was working at. I mean, so wholesome. I haven't even had the guts to undo this because I think it looks so pretty. Manifestation, trusting your gut feeling, and trusting, not only trusting your gut feeling, but most importantly, trusting that you are able to make good choices, that you can trust yourself and the decisions that you're making. I know that we've all heard a lot of times that if you're the person who always has to ask, is this a picture I'm gonna post on Instagram and la la la, or just ask your friends for advice on what you're supposed to wear, what you're supposed to post, what you're supposed to do, then that means that that's something that you need to work on because you don't trust yourself. But when you start trusting yourself, it really works. I'm gonna tell you where I was 2 weeks ago, and I'm gonna tell you where I am today. 2 weeks ago, I had no plan. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know anything about where I was headed on my journey. I felt so lost and so hopeless. And the only thing that kept me going was knowing that I'm not gonna die. Other than that, I knew I didn't have any money. I knew I wasn't getting any money anytime soon because I had quit. So I'm out of a job in 2 weeks. I didn't have a new job. I had applied for a bunch of jobs and they all turned me down. This rent is $1,200 a month. It's quite expensive for this small of an apartment. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to afford it. And I've dipped into my savings account so much that was my savings account for the next month's rent. And I had to dip into it because I didn't have food at home. Okay. I was not depressed, but I was quite worried. And in this worrisome period of my life, I've really gotten the chance to learn how to navigate those negative ego thoughts. And whenever doubt comes up, I push it away. I don't push it away, but I ignore it because I had no energy to sit there and be anxious about something that might or mightn't happen. And and also it's just gonna fuck with me mentally. So I got much better during this time. I learned a lot of things besides the point, right? Irrelevant. Anyway, fast forward to me 2 weeks later. Yesterday, I worked my last shift at my job. That's why I got that bouquet, among other amazing, beautiful things. Oh God, I love my job so much. I loved everything about my job except my job, if that made sense. 2 weeks later, aka today, I have a job that pays me better than the last one. I know how I'm going to be able to pay my rent. And I'm moving to France, to Nice. I just feel amazing. Why did all of this happen to me? Because I trusted myself. I really, really trusted myself. You know, things that are meant for you aren't supposed to come hard. Of course, there is work behind everything, but it's not supposed to be uphill. It's not supposed to be hard. You know, you're not going to have a good time if you force yourself to wake up at 5 a.m. and force yourself to go to the gym and force yourself to lift heavy at the gym. Go home and force yourself to do yoga and force yourself, life isn't about pushing a heavy wall. The wall is supposed to move and you're supposed to walk after it. So everything that comes to you easily is what is meant for you. First of all, when I applied for jobs, I never applied with the intention of selling out for them. I applied and I just wrote, hey, you're gonna fucking love me there. And here's my resume. That's basically what I said. And the ones that didn't answer, I never had the feeling that it's because I suck as a human being that I got rejected from the jobs. And old Fiona, and we're speaking just a couple of months ago, would have taken that personally, and I would have, wallowed in my own pity of I suck and nothing great ever happens in my life. But they rejected me, all of them. I did get some offers, which I didn't say yes to because I just had a gut feeling that it wasn't for me. That's it. And I could have, ran back tail between my legs and asked them. But I chose not to. And yesterday, like I said, was my last day at my old job. I was going to say my current job, but my old job. It was emotional. I only cried once during the shift, but I cried a lot when I came home. I had nowhere to go. I had no plan on where I'm headed. And then today, I went on a job interview. I got it very quickly. It was quite easy. I made a call and I had an interview, basically. And I have a job and I start Monday. That's how quickly that went. And I had 3 months between where I quit and where I actually had to leave the job, according to contract. So I was there for 3 months and I didn't get another job until the day after the last day there. Every single time this happens, it's right at the last second when, I just believe. And I talked about this in a earlier video. I think it's called Letting Go. This has happened to me other times where there is no way out. And the people that I would have told this to in the situation I was in, they all told me, you have no way out. Take the shitty job. Do this. Work harder. No. It will come to me. Everything will be resolved. And you know what? If nothing is resolved, if it ends up with me falling into a hole, I am not gonna die. That's it. If I'm out of a job, okay, and I can't pay my rent, and now I owe money to the government because I couldn't pay my rent, and I get thrown out of my apartment, will I be dead? No, I won't die. Because I am an amazing, beautiful, inside and out, genuine, authentic, loving person. And I have managed to build a network of family and friends who are always going to be there for me. Before my family ever supported me, when I had a lot of issues at home and no help from my family, that was okay, because I had built a network of friends who would do anything for me, and friends' families who would help me if help was needed. You know, I had someone who was always there for me. So even if I get thrown out on the street, I will not die. And that was it for me. I was content with that. You know what? I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to trust and I'm going to believe in myself, and I'm going to believe in the universe, and everything is going to work out for me. And you know what? If it doesn't work out for me, that is fine either way, because at the end of the day, it was my decision to quit. It was my decision to not have a plan when I quit. It was my decision to do what was best for my sanity. And it all worked out. This is truly, truly another example of you have to just trust yourself. You have to trust your gut. No matter how many people tell you that is wrong, no matter what situation you are in, it is always going to resolve itself. If you just have that mentality, it is going to solve itself. And if it doesn't solve itself, I'm not going to die. And the reason why, if you're a control freak, like someone, then you act as if you're going to die when shit hits the fan. And that is because when you grow up, it could be because I'm not going to tell you what has happened in your life. But for me, it was because I grew up in a chaotic home. Everything was chaos in my home, and I needed to be able to control everyone's emotions and everything, because I couldn't control the chaos that was happening inside my home. And I became very, very empathic because of my parents' emotional roller coasters. So I had to analyze and prepare for the worst all the time. Then when you had to prepare for the worst when you were younger, you were literally fighting for your life. You were in a life and death situation. And it doesn't have to be that someone threatened to kill you. It could just be, my parents aren't paying attention to me. And if my parents aren't paying attention to me, I will die, because I won't have any food. I won't be able to have clothes. I won't be able to go to school. Things that when you're underage, your parents have to provide for you. If they don't, you are literally in a life and death situation, according to your brain and your body and your nervous system. Do you get what I mean? So all I had to do was just remind myself that whatever happens right now, I will not die, because I am not underage anymore, and I don't have to rely on my parents anymore. I won't die. That's it. And I was just grateful for that. And look at where I am now. And I know I can go so much higher. This is just simple everyday things. I'm so excited to see what this brings me with bigger things. I'm so grateful for having a job that pays me a little better than my last salary. I'm so grateful to be able to start already on Monday. I'm so grateful for these. We're gonna have an apartment showing on Sunday, which means that I get to move out earlier, which means that I get to save a lot of money for my trip. So I get these couple of days to fix things or prepare for things, so that when I start working, I'm ready. And it's going to be a real journey, but I'm so excited. I'm moving from Sweden to France, and I'm super excited. I am very, very, very heavily, very excited. It's going to be fun. I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of a motivation, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Kisses.